Earlier this week, with the preliminary results coming out of the Maricopa County Audit, everybody was losing their collective minds. On one side, you had, oh my god, I cannot believe how incompetent that election was run. And then on the other side, everything is false and fact check false. Yeah. So the entire question about, okay, where are we going to be moving from here? Well, we should probably get to the end of the audit before everybody, makes any hasty decisions. And that's what we're finding out from the Arizona Senate. Maricopa County being coy on auditing a certification, because that's the next thing coming out. And it's like, okay, are we going to be decertifying the election in Arizona? Because I remember Doug Ducey, governor of Arizona, he was like doing a pretty decent job. And when all of this stuff was kicking off, he's like, okay, yeah, we're going to audit the results. We're going to see what's going on. And we're not going to be certifying it until the audits are done and everything's just recounted and make sure that, yeah, no, totals were fine when they were first reported. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And then all of a sudden, a couple days later, nope, Katie Hobbs has certified the election. And he's standing there stupidly with a fucking grin on his face. And everybody's like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? So here we are, 7 months later, and we still don't have all the final results, obviously. But yeah, people are getting antsy. People are wondering about decertifying this election. What is that going to do in the big picture? Well, nothing. We've been over this ground plenty of times. Nothing's going to happen if everything fucking flips. Everything. Not even just Arizona. All it'll do is just accelerate this big old censorship crush, and nobody will be allowed to talk about this type of topic. So you got to strike while the iron's hot, I suppose. Officials in Arizona's largest county have repeatedly described firms conducting a forensic election audit there as uncertified, even promoting the idea that they lacked certification from an agency that does not certify auditors. In response to the audit teams seeking more items from Maricopa County to complete the state Senate ordered audit, Maricopa County Board of Supervisors Chairman Jack Sellers dubbed the auditors uncertified. He and other county officials have used the word many times before, including in an announcement that they voted to replace the tabulation equipment that auditors had examined. We've been over that as well. It's like, if you're going to be forensically cracking this stuff open, why would you be running those machines back? So they spent, I think I seen the number was $3 million out there, $3 million being put forward to get new election machines, because for whatever reason they got to buy some more Dominion machines because they have contracts there. So it's not really a breach because nothing's been proven yet. And if they can prove something, then they might be able to renege on the contract. But that's an entire messy situation. And I wish once all of these fucking contracts run up, nobody uses voting machines again, but that's another battle for another day. Most of the time, the body that officials believe could certify the auditors remains unnamed, but in a lawsuit filed last year challenging the authority of the Senate to order the audit through the subpoenas, county lawyers warned against an audit being conducted by a technician not certified by the Elections Administration Commission, the EAC of the USA. Got it good, and since you understood, a forensic audit conducted by a technician that is not certified by the EAC could void the certification and could cause the Secretary of State to decertify the equipment, meaning it could not be used in Arizona. The filing stated the subpoenas contemplate a forensic audit conducted by the committee and its unidentified agents, but does not state that the audit would be conducted by an EAC-approved testing laboratory. Interesting. So, results of an audit could be certified by a non-EAC group, but certain aspects wouldn't be available to them. Interesting, stupid bureaucracy in action. Spokeswoman for the EAC, though, told the Epoch Times in an email that while the agency does certify voting equipment and accredit voting system test laboratories, it does not certify or accredit auditors or auditing systems, so the plot thickened. Arizona Senate President Karen Fann said she checked in with the Federal Election Commission to try to get a list of the certified election auditors, but was told there is no such certified auditors. So you have an institution to certify auditors, but you don't have any auditors certified. Okay? This is where the Board of Supervisors are being coy with the public. They know there's no certified auditors, and when they also know that the two companies they hired are only authorized to certify the machines. So while they say they have performed 2 audits, this is a misstatement to say the least. She wrote in an email. Yes, yeah. Remember, are you guys running back the numbers in Maricopa County? There's already been an audit in Arizona before. There's been 2 of them. Yeah, well, we've already walked through this. It's like those were recounts. No audit had been sent. No audit had been certified. This is the first of its kind, at least in Maricopa County, regarding this election. So that's the process that Pennsylvania will probably have to go through once they end up launching their audit, because everything looks like it's being set up for it. And Mastriano out there is just asking people, hey, would you sign up for it? No, we're being told we can't by the Department of Justice. Oh, cool, really? Bet we'll just go ahead and pass that through the House and the Senate, and we'll just get our audit up and running that way. So if you start hearing shady shit about, there's different audit companies out there that aren't even certified, well, guess what? There's no list of certified auditors that are out there. That's coming straight from the top. And running back some more old information. Wisconsin lawmaker calls for full forensic audit after Georgia and Arizona updates. Yeah, we already knew that this one was going to get kicked off in the fall, but yep, now it's been finalized. A Wisconsin representative on Friday said that the 2020 election review being done in the state should be expanded to a full forensic audit following alleged irregularities being revealed in Arizona and Georgia. State Representative Timothy Ramthun, a Republican, formally requested a more comprehensive audit. Yes, because we didn't know what the parameters were going to be. It's like, yes, we're going to be auditing the results of the election. What are you going to be doing? An audit of the election. Okay, bet. Why don't you run a full forensic audit? Okay, we'll look into it. Now somebody wants them to look into it. So they want a more comprehensive audit from former state Supreme Court Justice Michael Gableman, who is leading a conducting a review of the election at the behest of the Wisconsin Assembly Speaker Robin Vaught, along with the retired police officers and the Legislative Audit Bureau, which lawmakers authorized earlier this year to investigate the election. Yeah, that's as much as we knew, okay? Vaught and the Audit Bureau did not immediately respond for requests for the comment. Ramthun is pushing for a forensic audit after reviewing recently released information from the 2 counties. Yes, from Fulton and from Maricopa. Fulton, big old claims are coming out there, and just like Maricopa County, preliminary evidence, but the spurgs are out in full fucking force. And remember, there's no evidence of widespread fraud. Just don't look any harder. An election integrity group presented ballot images this week that they said show provable F word. I think enough time has passed. Fraud occurred in the 2020 hand count audit in Fulton County, Georgia. Additionally, the county double scanned nearly 200 ballots. Yep. Malice or incompetence. I don't know what to chalk this up to, but again, this is just preliminary evidence. Auditors conducting a forensic audit in Arizona's largest county, meanwhile, said during a hearing on Thursday that they uncovered major concerns about some 100,000 ballots. And you remember that the margin of victory in both Georgia and Arizona were south of 20,000. I know Arizona was a hell of a lot slimmer than Georgia, and like 11,500 seems to ring familiar in Georgia. But just to be sure, yeah, in honor around that mark. I think it might be as low as 6 in Arizona, but I can't remember. It's high 4 digits, non-aggressive 5 digits. Auditors conducting a forensic audit of Arizona's largest county, meanwhile, said yes, that 100,000 ballots. The auditors are seeking more items, including spunk logs, or Splunk, oof, somebody's Pornhub search history, from Maricopa County officials who vigorously contest the irregularity claims. Yeah, on their Twitter feed, typing out like a fucking 14-year-old girl. Unlike our next subject here, Trump, who had to issue a little statement out to the masses because the cabal was in action. You guys remember early January, because Orange Man sent his insurrection squad into the Capitol, right? And everybody died as a result of that, and fires are still raging. What's that? Nothing happened? Yeah, okay. Trump says Arizona election hearing shows enough fraud and voting irregularities to change totals. Perhaps. Former President Donald Trump issued a statement on Friday saying that the Arizona Senate hearings on Maricopa County election audit show sufficient levels of fraud and voting irregularities to change some of the outcomes. Cool. Arizona has strong state senators willing to fight for the truth. Yes, and a really boss head of the Arizona GOP, Dr. Kelly Ward. And he makes a big old statement about what those totals may or may not be, because yeah, like we've seen, there's ballot issues, but depends on who everyone was voting for. And you guys know my opinions on it, but unfortunately on some of these platforms, I'm not allowed to express those, but I'm just allowed to tell you the facts that we don't know who each of those ballots are. We don't have concrete evidence yet because all of the final results aren't out yet. Former president also took aim at media outlets reporting no fraud found in the presidential election, while citing several lawmakers calling the election to be decertified. Yeah, call for that, I suppose. Just won't do anything. He knows that. Just, trying to make headlines, of course. Arizona GOP-led Senate on Thursday held the hearing. Doug Logan, CEO of Cyberninjas, told senators at the Arizona State Capitol that auditors could find no record of the county sending more than 74,000 mail-in ballots. He also said auditors found approximately 18,000 people voted, but were removed from voter rolls soon after the election. Interesting. 11,326 people who were not on voter rolls on November 7th, 2020, but appeared on the rolls on December 4th, 2020. Interesting. Interesting timing on that. I'll allow you to speculate as to how they got there, or how they were removed, how they were replaced. Don't know. And 3,981 people who voted after registering after October 15th, 2020, past the deadline. Interesting. I'm sure it was just a clerical error, right? Maricopa County Board of Supervisors Chairman Jack Sellers, a Republican, a John McCain appointee, said in a statement after the hearing that the auditors were incompetent.
At today's briefing, the Senate's uncertified contractors,
that's why we went through everything beforehand. Nothing is accidental.
Asked a lot of open-ended questions portraying it suspicious what is actually normal and well known to people who work in elections. In some cases, they dropped bombshell numbers that are simply not accurate.
Oh, okay. So somebody who doesn't actually have first-hand information on this is saying to the people who have actually seen all this stuff, they know better. Okay.
What we heard today represents an alternative reality that has veered out of control since the November general election.
Yeah, it's alright. I'll take the advice of the people who are actually working on this stuff instead of the people who fought tooth and nail and, just ignored subpoenas from your state court. Yeah, no, they're definitely the people I'm going to agree with. But yeah, no, these guys are in total fucking cope mode. And remember, this is all initial preliminary findings, so it's only going to get worse for them from here. We can continue to run this down if you want, but I don't really see any more point in it. Because there's just more evidence, like concrete fucking evidence that the fix was in. Yeah, definitely by the deep state. Okay. Think what you want about the actual election, how everything panned out. I, for one, believe that Joe Biden is the most popular president of all time. The numbers don't lie. But the fact that the laptop from hell, as it was so expertly coined by the 45th president, none of the talk was out there. Oh, it was widely discredited by the likes of Mitt Romney, according to Joe Biden during the presidential debates. But then, yeah, not that long after, CNN was talking. It's like, hey, have you heard anything about this laptop? I hear that the FBI is probably looking at that, and they've had a case open since 2019, so guess what? Nothing to see here. And then you get this drop. Prosecutors delayed advancing Hunter Biden probe until after the election. Oh, say it isn't so. Federal prosecutor investigating Hunter Biden's potential tax law violation and sketchy business dealings overseas last summer decided to keep the public in the dark about the probe until after the 2020 presidential election to avoid impacting the race's outcome. Oh my God, it's almost like they seen what the fuck's his name? James Comey and the FBI had to do right during the 2016 election, and that some people think cost Hillary Clinton the race, even though Hillary Clinton, if you do remember, was a horrible fucking person and a really bad candidate to pick in 2016. I think if Biden ran in 2016, he might have legitimately won that race. I think there were too many questions about Trump, but at the same time, people were just sick and tired of the arrogance of Barack Obama, so it would have been the best time for Biden to run, but but you know what? He never ever would have got that massive vote total, so perhaps he knew something that nobody else was really privy to. Just think, though, if he would have ran in 2016, he would have won. He just would have been continuously so popular. That 81 million vote total, man, it would have got dwarfed the second time around. He just left votes on the table that may or may not have been counted 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 times. According to the news outlet, U.S. Department of Justice officials, led by David Weiss, the U.S. attorney in the Biden family home state of Delaware, delayed the Hunter Biden probe last summer, postponing the pursuit of search warrants and issuing grand jury subpoenas, Politico explained. Weiss decided to delay taking any actions that were likely to make the existence of Hunter Biden probe public. Concerns about affecting the presidential election loomed large when Weiss entertained arguments about advancing the probe, according to persons involved in the discussion. No matter what he did, the decision was sure to come under scrutiny for signs of politicization. No shit. They learned from the example in 2016. That's exactly what they did here. They knew something was fucked up. They knew they could have been going after him. But unfortunately, Biden ended up jumping into the 2016 race. Okay, he was the establishment pick along the way. If he would have fell off, they would have went right after Hunter Biden. Or we just never would have heard a word one about all of this stuff. It just would have eventually kind of evaporated away, and Pops would be just sitting in a chair on his deck, muttering into his oatmeal until the end of time. And Hunter would be cashing Chinese checks or getting his crank yanked by some Asian hooker's feet. Instead, well, now we're getting confirmation that what everybody was thinking was once again proven correctly. Weiss ultimately sided with DOJ colleagues who convinced him it was best to err on the side of caution and wait to advance the probe until after the presidential race. They advised Weiss to avoid taking any actions that could alert the public to the existence of the case in the middle of the presidential election. The U.S. attorney ignored the other officials involved in the case who wanted to move forward with the investigation last summer, despite the presidential race. Politico conceded that advancing the Hunter probe amid the presidential election may have benefited former President Donald Trump's campaign, noting Weiss's decision to avoid revealing the investigation in the highly charged political atmosphere that happens every 4 years. Why is this somehow special? Oh, Orange Man bad. A move that might have boosted Donald Trump's campaign. Wow. Okay. Remember doing a side-by-side comparison to 2016 and 2020 and how different points in time just kind of lined up just about perfectly within about the same week. And if this would have came out at the exact same time that the DOJ or some other deep state institution would have came out and done some kind of investigation, boy, would have that just lined up totally perfectly. Oh boy. But I guess they probably looked at that timeline too, and it's like, fuck, Democrats just can't keep their fucking nose clean, so we gotta help them out again. But yeah, it would have helped boost Trump's campaign, even at the cost of politicizing the probe. It was consistent with his sober-minded approach to his job, said people familiar with Weiss's career. Yeah, do that or you get fired. Or worse. So too, they said, is the fact that the probe continues, with most expecting that Weiss will not drop the case until making a full assessment of Hunter Biden's capability. I'm just going to say this right now for posterity's sake. David Weiss didn't kill himself. Weiss continues to serve as Delaware's U.S. attorney under Biden. Former President Donald Trump appointed Weiss as the U.S. attorney position in 2017 at the recommendation of Delaware's 2 Democrat senators. 2018, the office began investigating Hunter in a response to various leads, including some linked to the business dealings with business associates from China. Initially, investigators sought to go after the president's son over money laundering and violations of the Foreign Agents Restriction Act. In October 2020, the New York Post first reported the contents of the so-called laptop from hell that was confiscated by the FBI after Hunter was too high to pick it up from a repair shop, sucks to suck, which detailed Hunter's business dealings with China and Ukraine. But don't worry, guys, the FBI is investigating it, and they have an open investigation into it. I'm sure that will eventually get solved, right? Obviously. So yeah, things are coming out about the election every fucking day. Who's shocked? Who's shocked at this point? Okay? They try to discredit the audits that are going on based on, oh, they don't have certification, and then you do a little bit of a inspection into that and realize, oh, there's actually no certification process. Whatever. More states keep jumping on. More corruption such as this gets exposed, and what's going to happen? I don't know. Saki's just going to start yeeting people offline, and you're just going to have to hope that your head sticks down far enough when that scythe comes across. I don't know. I give the information to you. Do with it what you will. Please do your own information. do. With that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.